it went back to one of the comments in the first part of the Unpopular Opinion, where a lady said she was introduced to Thai BL by watching Kim Posh. And I thought that is not a good way to be introduced to Thai BL, because Kim Posh was something that we had to wait for. Kim Posh, that one, oh God, everything, you see the sex scenes inside that Kim Posh. Even as an adult myself, I was closing my eyes what are you doing there? And now you're not introduced to BL by watching Kim Posh. You have to start small, because Kim Posh is they went from 0 to 100 all of a sudden. You might have to start small and work your way up. Don't all of a sudden start from PG-35, okay? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Margaret. So recently I've been posting, or I came out as a BL fan, and a very proud one at that, especially being a Nigerian. This was not easy for me, but I decided to ask, am I really the only Nigerian that watches BL? And from the views of that video, it prompted me to make another one where I talked about the unpopular opinion I had about BL, Thai and Korean, and the likes and the views and the comments, the amazing people I've met in the comments. It felt like I found my right family. So I decided to bring you guys part 2, because I have a lot to say about BL, especially Thai BL. Let me not even, stress too much, because Thai BL, let me not just, bore you with my intros and whatnot, but just make sure to click that like button and subscribe and join the family, because I'm going to be bringing you a lot of this, on this topic. So let me just dive right into it. The very first one, unpopular opinion, part 2. I'm always so stressed whenever I talk about the unpopular opinions about BL, especially Thai BL, because this video is going to be concentrating on Thai BL. Maybe another day we'll do one on Korea, but today I'm going to be focusing on Thai BL. And the very first one is the fact that, in Thai BLs, before you watch 5 minutes of an episode of a movie, you've seen one advert. This stuff tires. It is so obvious that it's an advert. Can you guys just, take it down a notch? Just at least don't even make it obvious that it is an advert. There are some that are very notorious, in the sense that before you watch anything, you've not even started the episode, you're already seeing adverts left, right, and center, and they are so obvious about it. The stuff, it makes me tired about the, whatever movie that is, because even though the movie has a good plot, a good actor, a good, setting, everything is vibing, but then before you watch 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you've seen one advert, and they don't even hide it that they are making an advert about this thing. It is so funny and, sometimes cute, but not too cute for me, because it is so annoying. Even though you're going to add the advert, of which, they are sponsors to these movies or these dramas, so they will definitely need adverts in their dramas. But can you just don't make it too obvious that you are, making an advert, or you are selling something to us? And especially the fact that, Thai BL has a lot of international fans. It's not like these products are even accessible to us that are outside of Thailand. Maybe a few products, but, majority of the products will not be accessible to international fans. But then, before we watch any, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of an episode, we already seen adverts. It bores the viewers. Or at least that is my opinion, and I believe there are many people that agree on this point. At least if they can take down the adverts down a notch, I'll be very grateful, and I know that there will be many people that are so grateful about that, because it can be really tiring and makes the movie or the drama or the series boring, because we know that before another 10 minutes we will see another one, and they are usually, sometimes one product is advertised more than how many times inside an episode of a series. When you are stressed about something that you don't have any control about, that is what I have a love-hate relationship with the adverts in Thai BLs, and it makes each episode tiring for me to watch, especially when they are blatantly telling me this is an advert. You have to, and with my points in my last, unpopular opinion, where I talked about the bad acting, it even goes, creeps into the advert they are making, so you can't really concentrate on the drama. You just know that they are advertising something to you. So this is the very first unpopular opinion that, I've been finding quite irritating and tiring. So the second one now is, how there's now this huge love for Thai BL, both inside, outside, everywhere. the whole world. There are so many people that now love, BL. This one is the fact that the fan culture or the shipping culture in BL has become so toxic that now you can't even differentiate who is genuinely happy about the couple they are claiming to ship, or who is just trying to do it for the benefit of it. Like, the fan culture is just too it's so tiring. And I believe that these actors, let's say in the first part of the Unpopular Opinion, where I talked about repeating the same couple over and over again because maybe one of their series was popular. Now, because this couple are known and they are always used and people love them together and whatnot, you now see fans being obsessive about these actors. You now see fans creating this toxic environment that even when both actors are obviously not dating in real life, fans have made it so bad that now you can't even. I feel like these actors are not even safe in their own skin again because they have to create this fan service. They have to go with the idea that they are being shipped. Like, every time they have to play along. Like, I believe this is very stressful for the actors. So it is one thing I found very interesting about the Thai BL culture, and I've not seen it in other countries or in other countries that produce BL. I saw a post somewhere where somebody talked about why this might not be in Taiwanese BL is because of the fact that in Taiwan they've now legalized same-sex couple, so people don't really find the need to be shipping these actors or asking them for fan service and whatnot. But in Thailand, for someone who has been to Thailand, obviously because I was so interested in BL that I went to Thailand to go and visit, like, I could online everywhere there was just these traces of fans expecting actors to give fan service. The shipping now, because they are now shipping two actors, they now find the need to request for fan service. They now see it as a right. Like, sometimes this can become very toxic, making the actors very uncomfortable because they have to keep playing this part even when they are not in a series or when they are not actively trying to make their BLs popular or their drama popular. So, like, this is one thing I've really noticed, and it was quite interesting because, to be honest, it's not even only Thai people shipping these people. Both some international people can be very interesting that they join Thailand or people in Thailand to be requesting for fan service, shipping these couples, and they are so serious about it that I found it very interesting because, for myself, I would not even find myself in any place where I'm shipping any couple in real life, because I know that these things are just dramas. They were casted to act this thing. They were just lucky to have been popular, but then fans now take it to the extreme, making these couples at the end uncomfortable. So fan service and the shipping culture is something that I found very interesting. This is very funny, or this this my next one. I can't help it but to laugh. Is the fact that in almost every Thai BL, like, the popular or the main lead or one of the main lead must be very rich. He must drive one of the either Audi, like one of these popular cars. Like, he must all these super fast cars or super cars and whatnot. He must drive it, and he must live in a big house. And whenever they are driving these cars, they must drive it very slow. I found this very interesting about Thai BL because it seems like a memo for every drama where the main lead is rich. Like, it must whenever they are driving their cars, it's as if there's a manual. Maybe because they are obviously advertising these cars to some extent, they now have to drive very slow. Like, sometimes I will be like, since you are going to be slow, can't you just cut this scene and move on to the next one? But then they have to show the actors driving very slow in the cars. They now have to drive to their boyfriend's house, or maybe when they're driving to their house, it is one big mansion. Like, there are some Thai BL has really given me so much things to talk about because because I've watched these things for quite some time. Like, I've now become so observant that these things, I just find them repeating themselves, and it is very interesting. Like, this is one thing I found very interesting about Thai BL. I really love Thai BL. Maybe that is why I'm so observant about this thing, and I found them very interesting. So it is not somewhat of like a bad unpopular opinion, but it is just something that I've noticed in Thai BLs, and I thought to tell you guys about it. Thailand will not cease to amaze me. Like, I've been finding so many things interesting, like, because obviously I went from a world of watching American drama, going to Korean drama, and now diving and falling face flat into Thailand. So I'm always so absorbed in whatever I'm watching. So I've come to observe these things, and it is quite interesting to see. So it is something I've noticed, and it is my third unpopular opinion. Not so much of a bad thing, but it is something that is very interesting I've noticed in most ideas. I love it though, but they might want to think of something else instead of repeating the same thing that I've noticed. For me to have noticed it, it means they've done it several times. So just like the third one, this one is something that's very interesting. You know how the main lead or one of the main, in every season, obviously it's a BL, so there's two main people, the boyfriend and the other boyfriend, right? So one of them must be very rich, just like the other one I talked about, the third point I talked about. Now the second one, he must be, even though he's not so rich, he will just be like, okay, middle class. And then whenever both of them are having issues, the one that is not so rich must have a family in either Chiang Mai. In short, it's always Chiang Mai. Like, they always have to go to the countryside to go and get over the breakup. I feel like at this point I can produce a Thai BL because I've noticed so many things that are so funny. Like the fact that he has to go to the countryside, and then the main actor, who is the very rich one, will now come and look for him there. Yeah. Thai BL is so funny. This is the other thing I've noticed to Thai BL. So it is also not so much of an unpopular opinion, but it is something I found interesting, or a plot that they use almost every time that I've not noticed it, and I found it very funny. So that is the fourth one. Now for the fifth one. Oh, so this one, obviously they're all funny to me, or they're all interesting points to me, but this one is the fact that, okay, it went back to one of the comments in the first part of the unpopular opinion, where a lady said she was introduced to Thai BL by watching Kim Posh, and I thought that is not a good way to be introduced to Thai BL, because Kim Posh was something that we had to wait for. When you are waiting for almost a year just for them to release something, they have fine-tuned it, they've made it, so nice, so everything was just on point. And the fact that, Kim Posh, that one, oh God, everything, you see the things inside that Kim Posh. Even as an adult myself, I was closing my eyes like, what are you doing there? And now you're not introduced to BL by watching Kim Posh. Those two things are not, they are not rhyming at all. You need to start from maybe smaller ones, or ones that are not too erotic like Kim Posh. Acting is good, everything is good, cast is good, the setup is good, and all. Although I have a bone to pick about Kim Posh in some areas, but it is a good movie overall. But I feel like that is an extreme of a choice to start BL with. So it is one opinion that I've had about BL, or one that, interestingly, I had written this point down. So when I saw the lady in the comments, or her comment about starting with Kim Posh, I was so it was so funny to me, and I told her that was an extreme choice to start BL. But Kim Posh is an extreme. Don't start with Kim Posh. You have to start small, because Kim Posh is they went from 0 to 100 all of a sudden. That is my opinion about Kim Posh. So if you want to join us in this world of BL, you might have to start small and work your way up. Don't all of a sudden start from PG-35, okay? So that is my fifth, unpopular opinion about BL, or Thai BL. So this point, you see, I kept it for last because this is my 6th point and the final one. So it's the fact that, BL actors are not a good representation of the LGBTQ community. So for myself, I'm not in the LGBTQ community, but for someone who has been to Thailand and likes to interact with the locals, that is something that one of my friends, or one of the people I interacted with in Thailand, told me. So Thai people somehow feel that BL actors should be ones that are gay in the first place. So you see now, because of the international recognition of the genre, people love it, and all. So it feels like the main people in the LGBTQ community, especially in Thailand, are now sidelined. Although I don't really know what that would have been like if the real gays were the one acting it. If it would have been interesting as it is now. This is my opinion. It's not that I'm hating on the LGBTQ community, but I feel like they must have made the decision not to use the real, effeminate people or the real gay people in these dramas because of, marketability and all that. So, it is something I found interesting, but I would love to say that, we should not use BL actors as, a representation of the LGBTQ community, because, those, they are still fighting rights and, whatnot. But at least it was interesting to have found that, Thailand has allowed these people to, be a part of the community or a part of the country without having issues. At least that was what, my friend I spoke to talked to me about. But it is just the fact that, we should not mistake BL actors as, the LGBTQ community. And especially the fact that most BL actors are very straighter than a ruler. Yes. And now when, shipping culture, fan service, you are now forcing these actors to act what they are not, basically. So this is my sister Unpopular Opinion, and one that I found very interesting. So I hope you've been loving this video so far. If you have, please make sure to, click that like button, subscribe, because I feel like I found my new family, and I know you have too, because, I feel very happy that, I've discovered this thing that I can talk very happily about. So I hope you stay tuned, because in my next video, I'll give you my top 10 dramas, Korean, Thai, and Taiwanese dramas that I've loved so much. Okay, maybe I'll include, Japanese in that video, because, I want to talk about it. So my top 10 favorites. Okay? I want to get to know you guys too. So leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Just do what you need to do. Join the family, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!